just to give a little bit of perspective, the strategic plan is company-wide, no? So, isa lang dapat ito. And then how the leaders are going to support is to come up with their own strategic team plans that is aligned to the strategic plan. Okay, so later on we will talk about that, and that's what you're mentioning, Ronnie. That's exactly how we would like to see it. But I'm very interested to hear. Just before I move on, I just saw this. Mayan, you mentioned something here that's very interesting for me. Can you tell me more about? Mayan said, strategic plan is the process to identify, define the vision of the leader. Sige, tell me more about the thoughts around this.
Sir, good morning again. When you say process, so there is a step by step, uh, um, step by step
Procedure.
procedures to do
Yeah.
to attain a certain goal. So yun nga, you need to identify kung ano yung mga steps na yon, at you
Mm-hmm.
need to define kung paano mo ma-achieve yung ano yung goal na ano mo na pinaplan niyo po. Yun po.
You're right. And I like how you put the word there, vision. Okay. Because it really starts from the vision. Diba? In any strategic planning exercise, we ask your leaders or we ask leaders to tell us or formulate the vision, mission, and core values of the organization. All right. So let me go ahead and ask you first. All right. Before well, let me define this first. No, what strategic plan is? I'll go ahead and give you the foundational inputs, or just really the backbone or the DNA of what a strategic plan is all about. The number one thing is that it defines what your organization stands for. Tama? When we are doing an exercise on strategic planning, we always ask the leaders, a strategic plan should always involve your C levels, the directors, and the VP levels. Ito yung three downs, right? From the up, three downs. The C level will bring two people, the VP levels. The VP level will bring one person, the director level. I'm not sure if that's the same to you, but the hierarchy is supposed to look like that. It's supposed to define what the organization stands for because that's ultimately why organizations function. What are the vision and the mission? All right. The next is that it should identify which market and how do we compete in these markets. Identification. Anong mga markets ba? Saan ba tayo dapat pumunta? Sino ba dapat mga kinakausap natin? Paano tayo mag-expand? Paano tayo mag-innovate as an organization? And it talks about the organization. Okay? It doesn't even talk about personalities just yet because the strategy is really focused towards or geared towards achieving as an organization. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, it has to be one. It can't be a different strategic plan for each C-level. Iba yung pang CEO, pang CMO. No, everybody has to agree on one strategic plan. That's why it's signed off. Kailangan pinirmahan ng lahat. Everybody's on the same page to start the year. Di ba? And when does it normally happen? Towards the end of this year. For example, we start the strategic plan in October. We sign it off end of October, so you have November, December to make some adjustments because the implementation starts at the beginning of the annual year. All right? Next, understanding what goals to pursue. You have to make sure that when you have a strategic plan, there are specific goals that are allocated or that are indicated in each and every specific task or achievement in that particular area. For example, you know, what are the goals of the operations department? What are the goals of the finance department? What are the goals of the department? These can be high level goals that can be broken down into different or smaller goals that the leaders are responsible to create or achieve. Diba? Kasi for example, ang sinasabi lang ni HR, for example in HR, improve the quality of talent. In that specific goal, may different tinier goals 'yon, 'di ba? training and development, engagement. At bawat yon, this is the last part, is that magkakaroon ng kanya-kanyang specific allocated person involved. Right? So tama lahat nung sinabi niyo kanina. It's geared towards the for the all of this, but these are basically how we would like to simplify what the strategic plan is. Diba? Is it giving you or making you talk about what the company stands for? Does it evaluate or does it actually tell you where and what market we are competing? Did it give you specific goals that the company is pursuing for that particular year? And does it have properly allocated tasks or goals that everyone should look for at the end of that sign off? The question is, was it signed off? Was it everybody agreeing that this is what's supposed to happen? Now, having a very good definition of what the strategic plan is, I want you now to think, why do you think it's necessary? There's also a portion in your worksheet that would give us or give us the opportunity to answer that question. I want you to take time. Now that we have defined it very simply. Ang simple nung ang definition, di ba? Now, these are the main reasons. I'm giving you three main reasons on why we think or why I really make sure that the people or the leaders are able to look at it with importance. Number one is that it gives us focus or gives you focus efforts and investment. When you are able to see that there's a clear strategy or there's a clear plan on how you are going to achieve goals, again, it's all about achieving goals, right? When you have all of those clear goals, it gives you that feeling on when do I need to focus my time, my efforts, and my investment. Tama? Ultimately, we don't want to tire people from doing things that don't matter. You know, efforts and activities or any kind of work that does not translate to achieving particular goals or particular objectives in our strategic plan. All right. The second thing, which I think is also very important, and for me it's the most important, it's for the team's morale. It gives people, sorry, it gives people that feeling that I want to wake up and do this in the morning. Diba? It gives people their time to just really be willing to work and wanting to work. All right. So I think it's this is a very important factor for me. The strategic plan should boost morale of our team and us as leaders because we understand that we are in a progressive organization and that my organization has a plan to succeed. You can just imagine coming up in the office or going to the office thinking, what am I going to do today? Yeah. Where am I going to do? What are we planning to do as an organization, as a team today? All right. And the last thing is that it gives us or enable us leaders to identify risk and opportunities. Okay. All right. So there are three guiding principles. Okay. So sige, Pictionary tayo. Pictionary. Who would like to give me an answer on picture number one? What are your three guiding principles in a strategic plan? Ayan. Ano yung number one picture? Who would like to try? Hmm. Oh man, go ahead.
It should be a question answerable by yes or no.
A question answerable by yes or no. Wrong, ma'am.
Uh,
Okay
yes
lang,
na.
next try. Sige lang, more
Okay.
try. O, sige, Ron, go ahead, Ron.
I think that's decision making.
Decision making, almost there, but still no. Malapit na, malapit na. Tama naman, it's almost the decision making. Ano ba yan? What does it? Yes, Mon, go ahead.
Looking for the direction.
Ayun! It adds
Mm.
exactly that, okay? It's a setting clear directions. It has to be very, very clear. Okay. Um. All right. What about the second picture? Oh, Mon, 1 point. Come on. What about the second picture?
Mhm.
Can I
Madali
try,
lang
sir?
yan, guys. Ha? Yeah.
Can I try, sir?
Of course, Jace. Go ahead.
Documentation.
Documentation. No. Good try. Yes, Ron.
Communication.
Communication. May ano may ganun, may bilog tapos may ganun. So, communication ba yan?
Oo.
Ano ba yan? O, sige. O, Jelix, you're gonna answer? You unmuted.
Um, Vision.
Vision is no? Wag wag mag-overthink, guys. Tingin lang dun sa picture. Sige, Mon.
Avoid distraction.
Avoiding this. Ay, Mon, mukhang nag-google ka na ng three principles of ano, ha?
Hindi
Okay.
po.
Avoid.
Honestly, hindi po.
Perfect. Joke lang yun, Mon. Joke lang. Ang galing eh. Ang galing ng answers. Eh. Very good, Mon. No distractions. This is our second guiding principle. And the last one. O, sige. Eto na. O, ano yan? Ano yung picture na yan? O, Mon muna. Mon nag-raise ang hand. Sige, Mon.
Unified in one goal. Kasi para silang sama-sama whole, as a whole.
In other words,
Brainstorming.
brainstorming in pwede pero almost.
Uniformity. Parang ano sila eh. Yun, as a whole, ganon.
Unity.
Bigyan mo ako ng ano niyan, medyo antonym ng uniformity mo. Pero making it a whole. Ayan, sige. Anyone? Oh, wala na. O, sirit na. O, sige. Search Google, go. Hindi na bibigay
Google.
ko ng sa'yo. It's all about diversification or diversifying. Almost there, di ba? Oh,
Diversifying.
di ba? So these are our all three guiding principles. First, setting clear directions. Setting clear directions and staying your lane versus mentoring and pursuing strategies that change every year. I think that's one clear question that I always ask my leaders about. Do you really want to make sure that you set direction? And when you set it, how long does it have to be there? Diba? Kasi there are there's that term called agile right now, agile leadership, and it's like trying to keep that movement. And some leaders would look at it in different way, like I have to be fluid and I have to keep changing. No, it doesn't work that way. You still have to set the clear direction, even if the manner of achieving that direction is going different ways. Diba? So, in a guiding principle in a strategic plan, it is very crucial that your directions are clearly set. Okay? And the second thing is that saying no to distractions. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, as leaders, we get caught up with difficult situations day in, day out. Instances. Even the way we look at things, kahit gaano pa minsan ka importante yung task na yun, distractions are bound to happen. So, a good strategic planning session or a good strategy, once it's already signed up, is that it doesn't really go with any sort of distractions. So, kailangan talaga disiplinado tayo, no? When how we are going to do that. And the last one, ayan, diversifying your bets. You have limited pools of money and people and time, three resources, right? Money, people, time. And making sure that we don't put everything in one egg or all of our eggs in one basket, and instead we pursue initiatives that are going to be spread across different horizons, different markets, and different products. I think you have been working, some of us have been working in the organizations for a very, very long time. By now, I'm sure that your voice would matter. Diversification or important information or inputs like this would be coming from the middle managers. Kasi sometimes the higher management are kind of jaded with how they view things. Lalo na yung mga non-client facing already, di ba? So especially those coming from operations, Ronnie, Amen. I think you would have that ability and the power to just constantly give feedback in terms of diversification because you know the market, right? You are the ones who talk to the market. You are the ones who's facing the market. So you have to give that inputs to them. All right. But those are your three guiding principles. Now, based on those things that we mentioned on what the strategic plan is all about, why it is important, and the three guiding principles that we just talked about here. Ito yung gusto kong ipakita sa inyo. What it should look like or how can it look like? This is a sample strategic plan that we normally sign off. This is the foundation of it all. I'll let you take a photo if you want to, but this deck, etong deck na to, I'm sorry, my dogs. Etong deck na to will be handed over to you guys once the training is over. So, but if you want to take a photo of it right now so that later on in our activities you can reference to it, please do so. Take time to take a look at this and let me know what you think. Okay? Sa planong to, pag na-distract ka, even just for mahihirapan kang makabalik. Di ba? I'm wondering if this is the same kind of format that you guys follow in your strategic plan, or was it communicated to you this way? Because this should give you a better understanding. Kapag nakita nyo ganito, mas madaling intindihin, um, mas madaling pag-usapan, di ba? Mas madaling tingnan. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this plan? Ganito ba? Yung similar ba to sa mga strategic plan na na-passed over sa inyo? When it's signed off, does it have that kind of four pillars? Your financial perspective, customer perspective, internal perspective, and the learning and development perspective. Sabi ko kanina, di ba? Foundational ang learning and development. Kapag ka binibigay ba sa inyo yung strategic plan, ang unang tanong sa inyo as leaders is, tulungan mo ko anong plans and training programs ang kailangan ng mga tao natin para ma-achieve itong mga goals na ito. Kasi doon ang pasok natin as middle managers, right? Kaya nga ang tanong kanina, how many direct reports you are handling? And that gives my feedback to both Mon and Ronnie. Having 12 or more than 10 direct reports is going to be difficult because you are responsible of training these 10 people. Constant training, constant feedbacking, constant mentoring, constant coaching. In our, and this is best practice in international perspective, the best number is 3 or maximum 4. That gives you enough time. And this is just really simple. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Can you do 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon? If your leader says that I need you to feed back to me, how's everyone doing, what strategy or what goals they're working on in just today, and I need to talk to you at 5 p.m. and talk about everybody. You won't even have 1 hour to talk about everybody, right? It's just simple. But really, that's just really trying to teach us. So let's go back to this. The foundational of it is human capital. It's us leaders trying to get involved in the training and the development of the people around us. Why? Because we face them. Because they are the ones who will help us achieve the growth. They are the ones who's going to be able to say to you, kapag nag-coaching session tayo, when you do coaching session, you ask questions, right? What are your goals? How do you plan to achieve it? How can I help you? What are your impediments? And what are the things that you can commit to me? Ganun ba tayo mag-coach, guys? Oh, nako. Ayan na. Paula and Elda, no? Mukhang kailangan din natin na later on ng coaching and mentoring session. Pero sige, you see the biggest chunk. Kapag tinanggal mo yan at nag-umpisa tayo sa bottom, and it's always like that, bottom up. From the bottom, it goes up. Hindi siya nag-uumpisa sa taas, guys, ha? Look at the arrows. It's all going up. inuumpisahan sa ilalim. Kaya importante ang way that the strategic plan was communicated to the middle managers. That's why my question to you a while back is that when it was handed over to you, was it explained properly and did you understand how it's going to go? Or was it just handed over as a file and for you to understand it by yourself? Ron, nangingiti ka. Tsaka, Mon, you're about to say something. Sige, go ahead.
Actually, ano yan, dinidiscuss yan. Sineset yung ito yung plan for the year. Then isinet na yung ano yung mga gagawin. For example, about paano increase yung revenue. Then pinag-uusapan about yung sa mga cost reduction, yung about sa training sa mga tao. So dinidiscuss sa amin kung paano po namin yun
Very good.
tawag ito, i-execute. So kami
Exactly.
naman, yes, ibababa naman namin yan sa mga direct reports namin kung paano din namin execute. Although napakahirap talaga na may mga ganun kadaming direct reports, syempre iba-iba din kasi yung mga iniisip niyan, hindi mo alam kung naiintindihan. So I think talagang kailangan talaga ng matinding training sa mga tao pagdating sa mga ganyan.
Yeah. And you're dealing with personalities mo, no? When you're talking about direct reports. Lalo na on that entry level. Kasi minsan talagang nandun tayo and takes a lot of our time as leaders to educate and train people on that certain level. But here's a question. When it was handed over to you, did your leader actually showed you how to come up with your own team strategic plan?
Actually, hindi sa amin dumadaan yung what is the strategy, doon sila nagfa-follow. Hindi na sila yung parang nagkakaroon sila ng sarili nilang nag-i-innovate sila or something na gumagawa sila ng sariling planning. So, we just put the plan kung paano execute, then yun na yun, execution na pababa ko agad yun.
All right.
So, more on na lang talaga, pa-follow up mo na lang yung progress, yung
Yeah.
check mo na lang yung progress ng ng nangyayari.
Implementation.
Yung
Sige.
implementation.
Okay. So that's something that is that I think is an area for you to improve on is because there are opportunities for us as middle managers to actually support the plan. So it's coming up. That's why I think it's also very important that eventually, I'm sure that eventually you will be participating on the strategic planning. Is that how do we actually do a strategic plan for our team? Diba? Based on the goals and the plans that was handed over to me, I supported with my own strategic plan, with my own plan to achieve those goals. Kasi ayun lang naman yun eh, di ba? When it was handed over to you, the question is, what are our goals as a team? As middle managers, we have to make sure that those goals are achieved at the end of a specific time and period. So the question to me, as your top manager, is that, sige, show to me what your plans are. How do you plan to achieve these goals? Magkakaroon ka ng mini goals dyan. And this is why you should look at it differently. We don't really, I mean, we follow the whole strategy, but you can come up with your own strategy in achieving those specific goals that were set for the teams. May that be HR, may that be MIS, may that be finance. Kailangan, it's all goal-driven, it's all plan-driven, and that's why it's very important that we know what's sitting on top of all of us. Diba? Yan. Okay. So nakita nyo, 4 pillars ang tawag dyan. These are the 4 pillars of a strategic plan. Your learning and development pillar, your internal pillar, your customer pillar, and your financial pillar. The financial pillar talks about growth strategy and product strategy. Ultimately, this is where the money is. Tama? At the end of the whole plan, my CEO or your CEO will ask you, did we grow? Did we earn? That's the bottom line. Tama? Did we grow? Did we earn? And then at the end of that question, if the answers are both yes, we all get bonuses, right? If not, then there's other things. Yeah, everybody should be very proactive in terms of coming up with their own strategy in helping the team understand this. Kasi, nakita nyo, lahat tayo kasama dyan. 'Di ba? Ang hindi lang talaga natin, ang out of control lang natin as a team or as a middle manager is the financial perspective kasi ultimate show na yun, ultimate result na yun. But when you're talking about the learning and development, ito yung talagang process involvement. Involved kayo dito kasi sa inyo to. Yung internal perspective, medyo out of focus pa sa tayo niyan, 'di ba? Kasi minsan out of control yung internal natin, yung dealings natin internally. Unless otherwise, you're talking about HR, 'di ba? Lahat kayo internal, 'di ba? So this is something that you have to do. Customer focus. Oh, ayan. So identification of who your customer is. Yung perspective ng customer mo. Value proposition. Are you adding really good value? You know, some of us are in the support team, 'di ba? Are you really giving that kind of service that enables the team who's client facing to do their jobs effectively and more and efficiently? You see? 'Di ba? But I want you to zoom into those that are really going to talk more to us as middle managers. Human capital, information capital, organization, and culture capital. Does everybody in your team understand what do we do as an organization? Why we do it? How are we supposed to do it? Because they are the foundation. One bad service to your customer is bad service for the all over organization.